Are you looking to streamline your serverless deployments with precision and ease? Today I'm going to show you how to deploy a Node.js Lambda function using the AWS Cloud Development Kit, or CDK, which transforms the way you manage your AWS infrastructure with simple and reusable code. This method not only saves you time, but also increases your deployment's reliability and scalability. And let's hop in. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to make a new directory. We're going to cd into that directory, and then we're going to init our new project. And then we'll give that a minute to deploy. I'm using TypeScript, but the CDK comes in a number of different languages. All right, now we're going to import our Node.js Lambda function. One important thing I'll mention is that you will need Docker for this. And we'll go ahead and import runtime as well. Perfect. So now before we declare our function, let's go actually create it. We'll create a folder here called lambdas. And in that folder, we'll create a new file called node lambda function.ts. I'm just going to copy paste some boilerplate code here, but I will have all this code in a GitHub repository listed down in the description. All right, perfect. So now that we have our code, we can go ahead and declare the actual Lambda function. In here, we're going to include a few things to instantiate into our new construct. This for the context, the logical resource name, and then the function properties. The first thing we'll declare is the entry. The entry is just a file path to this new function that we just created, and it starts from the root of your CDK project. Next, we'll declare the handler, which you can see over here in this file was just called handler. You can call this whatever you want. It just has to match whatever you have in the function code here. This just references the actual function that will trigger when the Lambda is called. Next, we'll declare memory size. We'll put it to 128 megabytes, which is actually the default, but we'll just declare it here anyways. And then next is runtime. Runtime, we can just reference the runtime object that we imported, just reference node latest. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. So let's just go ahead here and we'll go to CDK deploy. I'm using the profile flag here because I have a lot of different AWS accounts, and I want to use the account that I specifically use for this YouTube channel. We'll give that a few minutes to deploy because it will need to build the image through Docker. The CDK is pretty cool because it requires a lot less configuration over CloudFormation templates in that it creates all of the proper IAM roles and Lambda execution roles on the backend for you so that you don't have to declare those things yourself. It saves a ton of development time. Okay, perfect. So now it's finished deploying, so we can go take a look at this in the console. But first I'll show you here in the Lambda function, we should just be getting a hello CDK as the body when we execute this function. So let's go find out if this works. All right, cool. So now we're in the Lambda function console, and we can see here our newly created Lambda function. We can actually go down here and we can see the index.js of the JavaScript file that was created from the TypeScript file that we had in our repository. Let's go test this function just with a sample invocation. Invoke it. Perfect. And we get a 200 status code. We get the hello CDK. Awesome. So our function works. Now I'll show you this as well. We can go here to the CloudFormation stack and we refresh this, and you can see here the Node.js function stack that the CDK deployed for us. All right, so let's hop back into the code and I'll show you how you can take this all down. All right, and it's just as simple as typing CDK destroy. If you use the profile tag to deploy, you actually don't need to use it again on destroy. It will just reference whatever AWS account it originally deployed into. It will ask you to confirm. Perfect, and that removed the stack. So now we can go confirm that in the console. All right, now that we're in the console, we can see that our stack is indeed deleted, and we can go to the Lambda console and we can see that there is no Lambda function either. All right, that's all for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other video ideas that you'd like me to make involving the CDK, please let me know down in the comments.